There is a frightening moment in every person's life, if they are fortunate, where they look around the room, check their phone, look at the people they call family or friends, and realize no one is coming, no one is going to rescue you, no one is going to fund your dream, no one is going to push you when you are exhausted, and if you trip, no one is going to catch you. For the vast majority of people, this realization marks the start of a deep sadness. It is the point where they snap. They feel abandoned, they feel like victims. They cry out to the world, asking, "Why me? Why do I have to do this alone?" But for the few, the outsiders, the strategists, the creators, this moment is not a tragedy. It is a fresh start. You are watching this because you feel it. You feel the weight of a goal that no one around you understands. You are tired of explaining yourself to people who are determined to misunderstand you. You are tired of waiting for a green light, waiting for help, or waiting for a team. Stop waiting. The notion that you need help to win is the biggest lie sold to you by a weak world. Great leaders knew this. History is not written by groups. It is written by individuals who realized that being alone was not a flaw. It was a superpower. I'm going to show you how to build a kingdom with no help. I'm going to show you why having no one is actually a smart advantage that gives you a strength the supported person will never have. But be warned, we are going to change your mindset. We have to remove the part of you that begs for approval. We have to stop the follower inside you. If you are afraid of walking into the dark alone, turn this off. Go back to the crowd. They will keep you warm. But if you are ready to become the kind of person who makes the crowd nervous, listen closely. Let us break the myth. From the second you were born, you were taught to be dependent. School taught you group work. Religion taught you to gather. Society taught you to network. You have been told to believe that the only way to go up is to be lifted by others. It is not what you know, but who you know. We have all heard it. We all agree. And it is harmful. When you depend on who you know, you are admitting that you are weak without them. You are giving the keys to your future to people who act for their own benefit, not yours. It was once written that a wise leader should rely on what is in his own control, not on what others control. When you look for help, you are looking for debt. Think about it. When someone assists you, you owe them. When someone invests in you, they own a piece of you. When someone supports you emotionally, they have the power to take that support away. You are looking for a safety net, but a safety net is also a trap. It catches you, yes, but it also holds you back. The reason you haven't succeeded yet is not because you lack support. It is because you are still searching for it. You are wasting valuable mental energy looking for a savior. You are watering down your vision to make it easy for others to accept. You are waiting for cheers before you even finish the job. You must accept the 0 point. The 0 point is the state of total isolation. It is when you look at your bank account, your contacts, and your tools and see nothing but yourself. Most people panic here. You will not. You will see this as the ultimate freedom. If you have no support, you have no masters. If no one helped you up, no one can pull you down. If you built it alone, you keep the whole throne. This is the cold logic of the outlier. We do not cry about the empty room. We use the space to build. It is often said that it is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. Let's apply this to your loneliness. When you are looking for support, you are looking to be loved. You want people to like your idea. You want your family to be proud. You want your friends to clap. You are acting from a place of emotional need. Neediness pushes power away. Have you noticed? The more you beg for help, the less you get. The more you try to explain your big vision to small-minded friends, the more they roll their eyes. They feel your desperation, and desperation smells like weakness. To succeed with no support, you must stop trying to be loved and start earning respect through skill. This requires a shift in your internal engine. You are no longer running on the fuel of kind words. You are running on the fuel of defiance. You must look at the people who don't help you, the doubters, and the ones who ignored you. You must not feel sad. You must feel a cold, planned drive. They don't believe? Good. That means the market is open. They won't help? Good. That means I don't have to share the rewards. You have to reach a point where their lack of care doesn't hurt your feelings. It makes your focus sharper. Imagine a general on a battlefield. He looks back and sees his army has left him. He stands alone against the enemy. Does he sit down and cry about loyalty? No. He looks at his weapons. He looks at the ground. He realizes that one man moving in the shadows is harder to kill than a loud army marching in the light. He becomes a different kind of threat. You are that general. Your lack of support forces you to be smarter. It forces you to be faster. A big company with 1,000 workers moves slowly. They have meetings about meetings. You can change your entire life in 1 hour because you have no one to ask. You don't need a board of directors. You need a mirror. Stop seeing your isolation as a punishment. It is a filter. It is removing the weak people who would have slowed you down. It is removing the fake allies who would have betrayed you the moment you found success. You are alone because you are being protected from the average mindset of others. So how do you actually do this? How do you wake up every day with no messages of support and still work like a machine? You enter the ghost phase. This is a concept from strategy. If you have no support, you have no audience. If you have no audience, you have no need to put on a show. Become a ghost. Most people fail because they talk away their energy. They have an idea and they immediately run to tell a friend. The friend says, "That sounds hard," or "Are you sure?" Doubt enters. The energy leaks. You got a tiny hit of happiness just from talking about the goal, which tricked your brain into thinking you reached it. So, you stop working. The ghost does not speak. You must promise to stay silent about your goals. Do not tell your mother. Do not tell your partner. Do not post big things coming on social media. Silence creates pressure. When you have a massive goal inside you and you don't let it out through your mouth, it builds up like steam in a boiler. It becomes physical energy. It becomes restlessness. Good. You need that pressure. That pressure is what pushes you to work at 2 a.m. when the supported people are sleeping. That pressure is the only thing that will break through the wall. When you are alone, you have the luxury of total focus. You don't have to go to happy hour. You don't have to go to the birthday parties of people you don't like. You can let the social mask fall and let the worker inside you take over. Use your isolation to become obsessed. The world calls obsession a problem. We call it a requirement. If you have no support, you must be obsessed. You must know more about your trade than anyone else. You must be so technically good and so smart that you become undeniable. It has been said, be so good they can't ignore you. Notice it didn't say, be so loved they want to help you. When you are undeniable, support becomes unnecessary. And strangely, that is exactly when support starts to show up. People love to follow a winner. They hate helping a struggler. As long as you are begging for help, you look like a struggler. But when you are winning in silence, when you appear out of nowhere with results, suddenly everyone wants to be your friend. Everyone says, "I always knew they could do it." You will smile, you will nod, but you will never forget who was there when the room was empty, which was no one, just you. To survive this path, you have to grieve. This is the part the speakers skip. They tell you to work hard. They don't tell you that working alone hurts. You have to grieve the loss of the life you thought you would have. You thought you would have a cheering section. You thought your parents would understand. You thought your friends would grow with you. They won't. You have to hold a funeral for the version of you that needed them. This is painful. It is a real physical pain in the chest. It feels like betrayal. You will find yourself staring at the ceiling at night, wondering if you are crazy. This is the test. Every outsider goes through the valley of shadow. It is the time where you have left the crowd, but you have not yet reached the goal. You are in the wilderness. In the wilderness, you see things that aren't there. You create demons. You want the comfort of the cage you just left, but you cannot go back. You know too much. Once you have seen the reality that most people are walking in their sleep, you cannot unsee it. So you must let the old you die so the new you can be born. You must stop being a dependent so you can become a leader. This requires you to become your own parent. You must wake up, look in the mirror, and be the father you never had. You must look at your bank account and be the provider you never had. You must look at your emotions and be the therapist you never had. You talk to yourself, literally. Get up. We have work to do. Stop crying. No one cares. Focus. This is the only way out. You develop a strong side. There is the you that is tired and weak, and there is the you that is the commander. The commander drags the weak side through the mud. Eventually, the weak part dies, and only the commander remains. You must be able to be tough on yourself in the short term, to be kind to yourself in the long term. You deny yourself comfort now so you can rule later. If you have no support, you have no one to help your weakness. If you sleep in, no one wakes you. If you don't work, you don't eat. The result is immediate and harsh. This is a gift. Comfort is the enemy of greatness. Support often acts as a cushion that stops you from feeling the hard impact of your own laziness. When you are alone, the floor hits hard. You learn fast. You adapt. You become stronger through stress. Let us talk about the story you tell yourself. The average person tells a victim story. I couldn't start because I didn't have money. I couldn't get fit because I didn't have a partner. You will tell a different story. Take every rejection, every ignored text, every doubt, and put it in a fire. They didn't support you? Good. They laughed? Perfect. Burn it. Anger is a cleaner fuel than sadness. Sadness makes you heavy. Anger makes you light. It makes you want to move. Understand that they didn't support you because they couldn't see what you see. They are simple. They look for safety and ease. You are complex. You look for glory and freedom. You are speaking a language they do not know. Stop trying to translate it for them. Just build the tower so high that they have to look up to see it. When you succeed with no support, the victory is better. It is pure. There is no one to thank in the speech. There is no one to share the ownership with. There is a dark satisfaction in knowing that you walked through the fire and didn't burn, even when everyone waited for you to fail. But to get there, you have to master the art of being alone on purpose. Most people are alone by accident. You must be alone by design. Cut the ties. If you are hanging around people who drain you just because you are afraid of being alone, you are losing power. You are paying a social tax to stay in a club that you don't even want to be in. Stop paying the tax. Sit in your room. Feel the silence. It will be loud at first. Your thoughts will scream that you are a loser. Let them scream. Watch them. Where do those voices come from? They come from old teachers, mean relatives, or TV. They are not yours. Once the screaming stops, you will hear something else. A steady hum. That is your own mind starting up. That is your strategy. You cannot hear that voice when you are surrounded by the noise of groups. Greatness is born in the empty space. Let us look at this logically. Groups fail. Partnerships break. The stats are against you. Whenever you add another person to your plan for success, you increase the risk. People are unpredictable. They get sick, bored, or jealous. If your plan relies on another person acting perfectly, your plan is broken. If you succeed using someone else's money or platform, you are their prisoner. You have to play by their rules. Succeeding with no support is the only way to own your soul. Is it harder? Yes. Does it take longer? Sometimes. Is it worth it? Always. You are building a foundation of stone. The man who has flown to the top of a mountain has no leg muscles. If the wind blows, he falls. The man who climbed the mountain alone, bleeding and sweating, has legs of steel. The wind cannot move him. He is the mountain. You want to be the climber, not the passenger. This is why you must welcome the difficulty. When you hit a wall and there is no one to call, do not panic. Smile. This is the practice that builds the muscle. This is where you learn how to solve problems. If a teacher gives you the answer, you learned nothing. If you have to dig through the mud for weeks to find the answer yourself, you own that knowledge. It is part of you now. No support means the best education. You are forced to learn every part of the business. You become a weapon of skill. The specialist is easy to replace. The person who built the whole castle from nothing is irreplaceable. So look at your empty phone and say thank you. Thank you for forcing me to become everything I needed. Now, let's go deeper into the mind. You are alone. You are likely sad or angry. The average person hides these feelings. They drink, they scroll, or they eat junk. They do anything to dull the pain of being alone. You will do the opposite. You will feel the pain fully and you will turn it into work. Pain is energy. Have you ever noticed how much work you can do when you are mad? The outlier learns to use this energy whenever they want. I am alone, work harder, they ignored me, write better. I am broke, sell more. You create a habit where pain starts production. This is how you become a machine. While others are frozen by their feelings, you are pushed by them. This is the ability to force your will on life. Luck favors the bold. It favors the man who does not ask for permission. When you have support, you get soft, you feel safe, and safety kills ambition. You need to feel that if you stop swimming, you will sink. That survival instinct is what wakes up the brain. When you take away the safety net, your senses get sharper, your creativity goes up. You see things you would have missed if you were comfortable. Welcome the solitude. It is waking you up. We have talked about the mind. Now we must talk about the fuel. When you are supported, you run on light energy like joy. When you are alone, you must learn to run on dark energy. Most people hide their dark side. They are taught that aggression or pride are sins, so they become harmless. You cannot succeed with no support if you are harmless. To build something from nothing, you need aggression. You need the pride to believe that you deserve more than the crumbs you were given. Stop feeling guilty about your ambition. That darkness is just power. A rocket does not fly because it has good thoughts. It flies because of an explosion at its base. Your drive is that explosion. When you are alone late at night and want to quit, inspiration will not save you. It leaves when things get hard. But pride is loyal. Use it. Tell yourself that if you quit now, the people who doubted you win. It is a rough fuel, but it burns hot. And right now, you need heat. You are expected to fight. You are expected to take glory with your own hands. Do not be the nice person who finishes last. Be the man who finishes first. Be polite, but keep the worker inside you ready. You have no boss. You have no team. This is the danger zone. Most people, when left alone, become lazy. They sleep late and waste time. If you do this, you will fail. To succeed with no support, you must be a strict ruler to yourself. You need a rule. A rule is not a wish. 1. The morning battle. The moment you wake up, you are in a fight. The weak part of your brain wants to stay in bed. You must win this first battle every single day. 2. Deep work. You do not work all day, you work with focus. You turn off the phone and lock the door for 4 hours. In that time, you do more than a company does in a week because you have no meetings. This is your advantage. Speed and focus. 3. A mind diet. If you have no support, your mind is your only tool. If you fill it with junk, you produce junk. Stop watching drama. Read strategy and philosophy. 4. The nightly review. At the end of the day, check yourself. Ask if you actually moved forward or just made noise. You have no boss to tell you how you did. You must be the boss, and you must be a tough one. If you failed, admit it and fix it. This structure replaces the office with a structure of iron. Let's talk about networking. You are told to go to events. Listen to me. Networking is for people who have nothing to give. When you are at zero, you have no power. You are just asking for favors. Powerful people don't like beggars. Stay home and build. Build a product or a skill that is so rare that you become a magnet. When you are a magnet, you don't need to chase anyone. They come to you. Make yourself necessary to the market. If you are the best at what you do, they will find you. Build the honey and the bees will come. Every hour you spend at a networking party is an hour you stole from your work. The best network is a list of great work you have done. Succeed first, talk later. And when you finally enter those rooms, people will be asking for your help. This is the part that will feel like a movie. If you follow this path, you will start to win. The money will come, your body will change, your confidence will grow, and then they will come back. The friends who were too busy, the family who told you to get a real job. They will return and say, "I always knew we would make it." They will try to join your story. They want to stand by the trophy they didn't help win. This is your final test. The old you will want to let them in. Do not do it. You don't have to be mean. You just stay distant. You realize that their love depends on your success. You keep your circle small. The only people allowed in are the ones who helped you carry the weight. And since you carried it alone, the victory is yours alone. This is not loneliness. This is being in charge. There is a peace in knowing you can rely on yourself. You know that if you lost everything today, you could build it back because you are the asset. Not your friends, not your luck. You. So where does this end? It doesn't. Once you win with no support, you are the architect. You now have the power to build the world you wanted. And now that you don't need help, you can give it.